Alright, so we're going to try to swap out these air tanks today. The bottom of this outside one rotted through, so it's starting to leak. And the inside one's not very far behind, so we're going to get both of them at the same time. I opted for a couple of used ones because they were substantially cheaper. International one at $855 for the tanks and the cables, and these tanks were $100 a piece used, so we go with some used ones for now. So let's get started. So I've been looking over these tanks, and so this fitting here is different than the one I got on there, so I swapped that one out. And then this one is different. I have to swap this one out too, and then all the other fittings should be pretty much the same ones, and ought to just swap right around. So all these quick release things here, they're what you do is this collar here is what bites into them. So you push this collar down or in like that, so when you got air on them, it pulls them out and it bites in. But what you want to do to release it is you just push them in a little bit, and then you pull the line out while you're pushing them in, and that's how you release these quick fittings. So you just gotta slide that outside collar, which is this collar here, into the fitting, and then pull the line out. It works well if you have a wrench that's this size. So I think this is like a 3/8 line or 7/16 or a half inch, maybe half inch. Anyway, you take a wrench that's this size as the line, and you just hold it tight up against that collar, and then you just pull them out, and it works pretty well. So what I think I'm going to do, because this front one here, this step here is resting on the tank, so what I believe I'm going to do is I'm going to try to slide them out the front, so I don't have to take the step down, and then the muffler is resting on the step too, or this bracket anyway. So I have to take all this stuff off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to cut these cords and unhook all the lines. I'm going to mark them all with masking tape and numbers so I know where they go exactly. And then I'm going to pull the lines off, and I'm going to slide the tanks out the front if I can. I drained all the air out of the tanks with the surface brake. They got little valves on them on the fronts and like at the bottoms for the drains, so you can turn those and let your air out that way, so you're not a line just blow off. So that's what I'm gonna do next. I'm gonna mark all the lines. Alright, so I just cut the cords that hold the tanks down, because they're all rusted and they're not gonna come loose. So all these are marked. I'll just pull out the fittings. Just like that. that? So we got a little crunching of the frame there, of the bracket, because when you're plowing and stuff, things kind of impact these stairs. So I took some 2x4s that were cut basically the right size, just went under the tank, I pried down on this, and I just wedged it between the top step and the bottom bracket there to kind of loosen up the tank. So it should slide out. I took the hoses off the front too. So I'm hoping it comes out. Turn the wheel. Yeah. Was hoping I'd get a little more play, but the other tank's kind of stopping me. Let's give the wheel a turn. See if that helps. Maybe we turn it out. That way it frees up the other one too. If I went in, then it would end up turning the wheel into where the other one's going to come out. Tank number one, I gotta change that front hose, and I gotta take this off and put that and transfer that over too. So, yeah. So I'll do the same thing. I'm gonna pull the hoses off the back of this tank too. And we'll cut these cables here, get them out because they're all rusted. They're not coming apart. So that's what it looks like. And that ain't coming apart. So make sure you get the cables. So these cables come in two different sizes. There's long ones and short ones. Short ones go in the back because it just comes through the bracket and down. These ones go around the whole tank. So. Alright, so I slipped that other one out of there once I got those lines off. One of them was kind of giving me trouble, but I mean, you can see the condition of these tanks. They're pretty rough. I believe this is the one that was leaking. So I mean, Right in there, you can see the scale. It's just peeling right off. So my leak was like right back here somewhere. There's a little pinhole in here. But as you can see, that's an air tank. So the salt really eats them up. This is the other one that was in there. You can see this one wasn't very far behind, so that's why I'm doing both of them, because it wouldn't make sense to do one and not the other. So I'm gonna change these fittings over, make them identical. I had to take one out of this and put it in that one, and then I have to take this piece off and then put it in this one, and then we should be good. And then just pull all the little stubs of hose off. It's the same way. Just magnet pliers on them ones, so I don't have to really wrestle with them. So I'll just push the little release in and then pop them out. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'll swap these pots over. There's a little Teflon tape for all your threads. Or you can use thread sealant or pipe dope, whatever you want to use. You have to use some type of sealant, because these NPT threads, basically they're all going to leak if you don't put sealant on them, because the threads are actually cut deeper than these go into, and it just kind of it follows the little gap that's going to be between these threads and the thread cutting the bung there, and it just runs around the threads. This is why it leaks. So you gotta put some type of sealant. Alright, so I needle scaled the rails there, or that lower U bracket. Got all my fittings and everything changed over. I blew out the ends, so I'm gonna put them in. So these tanks, there are two different tanks here. One's got a cap on it, doesn't have anything on the front. The other one has a couple fittings on the front. The one on the cap, or the one with the cap and no fittings on this truck, goes on the inside, and then the other one goes on the outside. So you just gotta keep track of where they go. That. Grab the straps. So you get two short ones. They go on the inside. Two long ones, they go on the outside. So, the part number for your long one. That's the long one. And that is the short one. So, if you need the numbers, that's what they are. I think they have a fine thread nut that goes with them. I think the nut was separate actually. Oops. These ones coming from the back and they come down through the bottom. So if I tighten those down, I'll probably plug all these hoses back into the back of this one, just so it kind of sits where it's supposed to, because those hoses are all got kind of like a memory to them. That way it'll clock it right. But generally you want the drain directly in the center at the bottom. Forward it seems. Oh yeah, it was way back. Or it was by the time I took it off. So I was measuring on this tank where the line was for the strap. So I'm back like 2 inches, so. A little ways. Actually, you can see the line on this tank where it used to be too. I guess they were this far back. Well. So that's probably close enough, right? Just gotta make sure these little collars kind of loose. So if you get like dirt in them, you just gotta make sure that they'll move, because down it'll just blow the line out if it's stuck down. So you gotta make sure they actually kind of move. Match them up. So these push connectors, I mean, obviously they're nice for assembly and stuff, but after a while I think they start to leak a little bit. I'm a little on the fence about them, but I mean, they work pretty well for a period of time, but taking them apart, putting them back together, I mean, there's O-rings in there, and like anything with O-rings, they seal right up until you disturb them, and then they don't like to seal again. So I'm hoping I don't have any real sealing problems with this. I guess it's, I mean, we'll see. So, yep. These ones come up from the bottom, and then they loop around to the middle. It's supposed to go around this part of the step here too. And that's a 9/16 it appears. have a set of instant chains that I gotta put on this, and I'm gonna have to tap into one of these lines. And this front tank, it only has the one line that comes off of it, but what it came with was this one that has the two coming off of it. So what I'm gonna do is when I put the instant chains on, I'm going to replace that front one right there with this one. That way I can use this tap here for the instant chain setup. So it's kind of a lucky find. Well, so I'm lucky. A lot of the lines are leaking that were on there. All these ones are working well except for this, which has nothing to do with changing the tanks. It's just these valves are kind of crappy. I just replaced this pretty recently, and they just don't want to seal. I don't know what it is about them. Every once in a while it does that. It's got nothing to do with phantom power or anything, or short. It's just a piece of crap, I guess. Yeah, that's all you gotta do. Just hire a guy to sit there with a wrench. This thing is not cheap either. So, I don't know, I might end up just putting one of them little valves back in it. Let me see if I can find it. I mean, these are the ones that came in the old tanks. Tanks I replaced them with had these guys in them, where you pull that over sideways and it lets the air leak out. So I mean that thing ain't necessary. It's just an automatic drain, I guess, to drain the tank. But anyway, so I guess it was a success. I don't really know how tight to tighten these straps, but I mean they're pretty tight the way they are. I didn't really crank them down. So anyway, hope that can help somebody. If not, let me know what I did wrong, and I thank you for watching.